Hey fight fans! In today's video, Islam Makhachev wins his second belt but immediately he comes under criticism. Many fans are unhappy and are calling his style boring.
Ah, man, I heard the fight was just horrible. And I was like, I wouldn't say it was horrible.
However, there still holds. There are still holds.
Fans are also talking about Topuria and Tsarukyan nearly running into each other at the UFC hotel. Meanwhile, Ball and Gary had a run-in Qatar. The UFC has decided to give Alexander Topuria a serious challenge. And finally, Jake Paul claims he will knock out Anthony Joshua, though many believe this fight might be scripted.
Fights are rigged, Cap.
So, let's dive in. After Islam Makhachev's recent win over Jack Della Maddalena, a lot of people said the fight was boring. There was too much wrestling and control, with not enough striking or attempts to finish the fight. Fans repeat this argument often. But this is MMA, different styles make fights. It's an old line, but still true. After the fight, Islam said what he always says, everyone knows his style, but nobody can stop him. That's not his problem. Honestly, Islam could have taken more risks, but he was fighting for a second UFC belt and his legacy. There was no need to be reckless. Even so, he wasn't completely safe. He has 4 finishes in his last 6 title fights against fighters like Charles Oliveira, Alexander Volkanovski, and Dustin Poirier. Fans forget this. People called Khamzat Chimaev boring after dominating Duplessis, said the same about Murat Gafurov, and even Georges St-Pierre faced similar complaints. But history remembers wins, not complaints. Demetrius Johnson believes today's MMA fans don't always appreciate greatness. When someone shuts down their opponent, fans call the fight boring instead of praising the skill.
In MMA, do we get to a point where, I feel like a lot of fans don't appreciate that. Like, it's mixed martial arts, right? Like, I'm even, I'm at the arena here in Tokyo with Michael, and Michael's like, oh man, I heard the fight was just horrible. And I was like, I wouldn't say it was horrible. I wasn't horrible. I was like, one guy just got dominated. Like, we're in this age of mixed martial arts where a guy absolutely dominates somebody. Everybody's like, oh, the fight was horrible. It sucked. I understand, like you said, we want more, but you got to take it for what it is. And like, hey, that guy just way fucking better than another guy. Like, there's nothing he could do.
Even Fedor Emelianenko, the Russian MMA legend, said Islam's win was another victory for Sambo itself.
Мне понравилось, что Ислам создал такие условия, что соперник было впечатление, что он не хочет драться, то есть он ничего не может ему противопоставить. То есть он его полностью контролировал и, создавалось впечатление, что он просто беспомощный такой в тех положениях, которые Ислам создавал, как будто он не хотел драться просто, не мог драться и не хотел. Это, конечно, заслуга Ислама.
Aliyah Belaziz shared her thoughts on Islam Makhachev, saying he still has many years at the top because he's not showing any signs of slowing down.
I think Islam have 3-4 more years to compete on a very high level because he's not struggling. He's happy, he's healthy. He's not going there 30-40%. He's going there 80, 90, 100%. And he's actually enjoying doing this. The man doesn't get hit. You know what I'm saying? He have the best defense in UFC history. You understand? And he's good, man. He's good.
However, there still holds. There are still holds that you can see. If you watch that fight and you focus on the striking, there's obvious gaps that I will absolutely take advantage of. But when he grabs a hold of your leg, he's the best in the world. He's technically beautiful with his wrestling. He's smart. He's intelligent. He doesn't do silly things or make mistakes. He does the right thing every time. And he's a dangerous submission threat. However, I don't care for any of that.
Ian Gary discussed the possibility of a super fight between Islam and Ilya. He admits it would be the biggest matchup in the sport, but thinks the UFC might delay it because it could freeze 2 divisions.
Ilya versus Islam is the biggest fight the UFC can make, hands down, in my opinion. However, I don't know if the UFC want to do that because then you slow down 2 divisions. I think when you've got the likes of Tsarukyan and Paddy and Gaethje, they need to have that belt competed at lightweight, and Ilya needs to defend that belt. Islam just won the belt and has to fight a welterweight. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. But it absolutely is the biggest fight in the sport you could make right now.
I've heard people say that JDM's boxing is better than Topuria, so I wasn't expecting for Islam striking to be as good as it was. I'm really impressed with Islam's striking. I think his fight style, he should have taken him down, right? And he should have taken him down a couple times, pieced him up on the ground. Then, like you said, had him worried about his takedown. Then just piece him up with his hands. That would make him such a bigger star, I think, right?
Yeah.
You know, because he did it. He did it a little bit. Like JDM was worried about his wrestling, so it changed his striking style. Now Islam can just pick him apart with his striking, and boom, like even a bigger star.
Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett called out Justin Gaethje for acting like he is owed a title shot. Paddy says nobody is owed anything in this sport.
No, don't ever want to say a bad word about Justin Gaethje, because he's a legend, but he's doing interviews lately being a proper you know what I mean, saying like the UFC owe him and he deserves it and all that. No one's owed nothing, you know what I mean, you fight for it. And my last win, I beat someone in a better fashion who was a higher ranked opponent than he won in his last fight, so I know he's a legend and obviously he's done a lot for the company and all that, but you can't just demand a title shot. You know, me and Topuria's got the storyline built in, it's all there. It's half nice for me that he won the belt, even though I don't like him. I'd rather him not be a 2-division champ. It's better for me that he won the belt, because if Charles would have won, then I definitely would have had to fight someone else first. With Ilya having the belt, it's just a storyline's already set up, it's all ready to go. Exactly. So I don't understand why it's not announced and why it's not already made and written in a contract, but we'll see what happens over the next few weeks.
Sean Ali and Logan Paul talked about Paddy versus Ilya, agreeing that Ilya might be too strong and calling him one of the best pound-for-pound fighters.
If he fights Ilya next, that's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be insane. Don't you think he gets torched? He'd have the weight advantage, though.
I mean, it's at 155. Ilya's like 5'5 and a half, 5'6". He's
good, bro.
He's probably pound for pound the best.
Yeah, he's pretty technical.
But him versus Paddy, anything could happen.
Foresee Ilya Topuria coming up to welterweight, potentially winning the title and staying and just defending against welterweights?
No.
No, we don't see that. No. You know, and he just growing into the lightweight division. And so we don't see that. Of course, it would be just for what? To make a humongous fight for the company, a big fight for the company. Yeah, but the thing is just for that. It's for the entertainment purpose of that fight happening. But in that case, what does Islam have to gain from that? Islam just put the work in and grew into this division and went out there and dominated the current champion. What does he gain from fighting Ilya Topuria, who was a featherweight, moved up to lightweight, and now moving up to welterweight? Really nothing to gain except all to lose. If something goes wrong and you lose, you lost to a featherweight. You know? So, listen, I think Ilya Topuria is extremely talented, and if they don't go with me and they go with him, I'm not, I don't want to say I won't be disappointed, but I'm not going to be upset.
There's one guy out there that's talking a lot of shit, and his name is Ilya Topuria. Is there any chance of that, Ali?
You win there, you haven't even defended your title once. You understand? Islam defended 4 times. Have a couple of fights. Islam will fight him, it's no problem. But in a way, why Islam, what Islam have benefit of beating Ilya Topuria, right? Is like almost not beating Dylan Dennis. It's like, because Ilya Topuria is one of the greatest fighters right now, honestly. He's so good, honestly. But in a way, you're gonna be in the cage 20 pounds less than Islam. You understand? Yeah. And create your own legacy. Build your own self. You're young, you're hungry, you're good. Make your money, run your contract out and get a new contract. You understand? And fight Islam for big prize money. Let Islam do his thing, you do your thing, and after that you guys fight. But in a way, I feel he's taking a page out of Connor's book. When big fights on, get on Twitter and write, and you get attention. Early on attention.
Arman Tsarukyan praised Islam's UFC 322 performance, saying it showed that Islam is on a completely different level.
Very good performance. I was shocked how he beat so easy Madalena. It says what's Islam level, he's in different level right now. He's on his prime.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that fight would be a lot closer.
And I don't know who can stop him right now.
Here we go. Wow, nice. Okay. Wow. I like lights watch.
Magomed Ankalaev returned home and got the loudest cheer in the gym, which fans really enjoyed watching.